Currency might be one of the greatest inventions of all time because people were able to sell or buy goods with a currency. And we can also see the improvement of the currency because we went from bartering to using the currency system now. But don't you think it's time to move on? Hi, my name is Frank, and after researching Bitcoin and the currency system for the past 2 months, I will tell you why Bitcoin can be the next world-changing currency and motivate you to use Bitcoin. People might ask that, can we use the currency system now forever? Probably not, due to some flaws in our currency system now. Therefore, I'm going to show you some problems occurring inside our system and how Bitcoin can conquer these problems. Let's start with the problems of our currency system now. Firstly, the currency we have now isn't safe. Why is it unsafe, you ask? First, it wasn't hard to notice that we can easily lose our money, right? The money in your hand can be robbed, can be dropped, can be burned, can be ripped, etc. Too many ways. Also, let's use some health issue as another example. Losing your money is a small thing, but when it comes to losing your health or even your life, that's a big deal. A graduate student from NYU Center for Genomics and System Biology even discovered that there were about 3,000 different types of bacteria on 80 of the $1 bills. Therefore, it might not be a good idea to hold a physical money because it's too dangerous. Secondly, the currency we have now isn't stable. More specifically, the value of the currency is not stable. It is common for the government to print more money every year, but if the government accidentally print more or less money, it will cause inflation or deflation, which will affect the value of the currency because you're spending more or less money on a single object. So imagine you have to take the responsibility for the government misaction and all the money you made suddenly become valueless. What would you feel? I might just rage and feel disappointed because of how useless this government and the currency system are. Thirdly, the currency system now we have is unfair. There was a lot of unfairness inside the currency system. For instance, the currency exchange rate is unfair. There were different rates of exchange between countries. Some are higher while others don't, which is unfair. For example, people like me leaving their motherland to go to a higher currency exchange country to make more money. It sounds bad to leave their motherland, but it's not even their fault. It's because of the unfairness in the currency. Also, it is unfair for middlemen to charge transaction fees when trading, because we were limited between 2 ways of payment in our currency system now. We either pay with cash or credit card/payment app, and usually credit card or payment app will charge a number of transaction fees, but it is unfair since we have no choice but to use it. After knowing the problem in our currency system now, let's see how Bitcoin can solve these problems. So for the second part of the speech, I will show you how Bitcoin is the answer to our currency system now. Firstly, Bitcoin is safer than the currency we have now. For human value, there's no doubt that health always comes first, right? But we also need a payment method because that's the only way we can get stuff. Therefore, we need to find a healthier payment method. And luckily, Bitcoin is one of the cashless payment system. According to the definition from Managing Mania, cashless payment are those payments that are made without the need for physical money. And without touching the physical money itself, you don't need to worry about having the possibility of touching the germs. And in addition, since it was only a number online too, you also don't need to worry about losing Bitcoin. In fact, every computer around the world has a copy of the blockchain system. Unless every computer breaks at the same time, which is ridiculous, you will never lose your Bitcoin. So, don't you think it's safer to hold Bitcoin rather than a physical currency? Secondly, Bitcoin is more stable than the currency we have now. We shouldn't trust too much in the government because maybe their misaction can ruin our life. But no need to worry about it when using Bitcoin as a currency because it wasn't run by any of the central authorities, but the community. So, would you rather trust the government or the community, including yourself, controlling the value of the currency? In addition, people cannot change the number of Bitcoin inside the system. According to the editor from Investopedia, there are only 21 million Bitcoin inside the system. No more, no less, and cannot be changed because the code of the system is unchangeable. And having a certain amount of Bitcoin can ensure the scarcity and the value of these currency systems. Thirdly, Bitcoin is fairer than the currency we have now. We need a currency that we're able to use in all the countries, And Bitcoin fits into this requirement because it is an international currency, which makes it fair for all the countries. And in addition, payment using Bitcoin is similar to using payment app or credit card, but it's different at the same time because there will be zero transaction fees. This makes it fairer for the buyer and the sellers because there won't be any money taken away by the middleman. And having the benefit of being an international currency with no transaction fees already make many of us successful merchants using it. For example, according to the CNBC News, the editor wrote that Elon Musk said people inside and outside the US will be able to use Bitcoin to buy Tesla later this year. So even Elon Musk is using Bitcoin, there's no point we cannot use it, right? To conclude, after seeing multiple problems of our currency system now and how Bitcoin can solve these problems, it is clear that we cannot use the currency system now for a long time, and it might be time to move on. I hope you guys learn more about how Bitcoin can be the solution to the future and give Bitcoin a shot, because the more people who take action, the more advanced this world will be in the future.